Sorry for the hiatus. It may be long enough since I can make a video, but holy crap, I'm alive. I'm here. So I had to apologize for my inactive state from this channel. I was kind of busy for a couple of reasons, and you know, Star was usually busy. I was doing some Photoshop commissions, whatnot, and that took about 5 hours, minimum, maximum. I don't even know. It is what it is. But I'm back, and I'm here to do YouTube again. It's just that I haven't really used OBS for I don't know how, but I'm here. So since I'm back, we might as well play a new title called STRAFE, and this is a type of game that I managed to pick up from Steam. I actually did play the first 10 minutes of this title before I actually got this on the consoles, but that's not the case. Now, this game is notorious for being kind of difficult. The game itself is not that great on consoles because the sensitivity is kind of lackluster and the music's kind of dated. As I said before, this game has a lot of oversensitivity when it comes to the gameplay, and it's actually kind of difficult to play this on the consoles compared to the PC because the way you because you can't zoom in when you shoot. So in this game is similar to, let's say, Rogue Legacy, in the sense that you pretty much I guess you pretty much go to the same exact level, and until you actually hit that plateau, you start again. So alright. So as I said before, I played this game before, and it's not that simple to say the least. It's like the X and Y axis sensitivity is so oversensitive to the point where trying to aim is actually kind of difficult, and you can't really zoom in because of it. Now this game is, I wouldn't want to say difficult. It takes a lot of patience. Now, as you know, I have a difficult time trying to aim. Aiming in this game is usually kind of difficult in the sense that you actually have to make sure you have some patience and make sure you're actually aiming well. And it's not that simple to actually try to relocate it, because the game itself is not so bad. It's not, the console's actually kind of good, but the controls are kind of all over the place. You got too many enemies start coming at you for no apparent reason, and half the time it's usually kind of difficult to usually get a decent aim because whoever designed this wants to make this usually difficult as much as possible, but B, the game itself is as, you know, brutal. In terms of difficulty, this game is so brutal to the point where you would die maybe about 50 times minimum and maximum, and then if you really want to usually get to the highest level, to the highest stages, you will have to die multiple times until you actually get to a distant standpoint. And as I said before, I played this game before on my PC or Steam, and I actually got it during a sale, and this game actually came in my radar. But as you might see, playing on the consoles is terrible. I mean, it's not even that great, and you need a lot of aim and practice to usually get by. Plus, the maps are kind of confusing. There is a map, but you actually have to press the left D-pad and try to shoot at the same time. The problem is that you can't shoot and look at the map at the same time, and you need to aim if you want to proceed. It's kind of complicated, and they don't actually make the game easier in comparison. The hit detection is usually kind of too close, and as I said before, the game itself is a little difficult if you don't know what you're doing. Actually, you can press. You can't aim, so there's no way you actually could zoom. I have to admit, the graphics in this game are kind of decent for its time, but trying to aim is another thing. So in this game, ammo is kind of scarce in the sense that enemies don't drop ammo when they die. You have to go to a checkpoint or a shop kiosk to usually get your ammo and buy your scraps. And these are usually important because you can't usually just get ammo from enemies. You can only get ammo from ammo kiosks and other means of transportation. Now, enemies do drop scraps, but it's not really often. And most of the time, you will pretty much use more scraps, to say the least. Now, as I said before, this is my I never beat the game. I never got the chance to beat the game fully because the game itself is actually kind of difficult on lower difficulty. But if you're not careful, the game itself could usually kill you by any chance necessary. Don't know why, but it is what it is. Beyond that, that's pretty much it. I had to turn on the music because it was actually too loud for my headphones, and you know, it's kind of hard to talk and hear the music at the same time, so I had to turn it off. Plus, is actually annoying because it does play to same exact soundtracks. I'm not into synthwave or that type of stuff. It's not my criteria, and you know, this gives me mediocre. Go on. Yeah, the game is kind of cheap, and you don't actually get achievements for beating the game on easy. It has some decent content for this time, but usually it does falls flat. So I guess we play as the enemy, I guess? I don't know. So this game is actually kind of similar to Doom, but if it was actually low budget and made by ED Team. I mean, it's not usually that much bad, to say the least, but the game's not that difficult, to say the least. The game's not that difficult, to say the least. It's just time consuming to usually beat. The game itself is as time consuming to beat because you have to usually be precise of where you shoot. And most of the time the enemies will usually kill one shot you if you're not usually that careful. You get less health, and in comparison, you don't usually get that much ammo when you actually play on no difficulty. Now I'm not sure how many hours I should play this. Maybe if I actually consider a lot of content, maybe I get bored, but for the most part, this is pretty much it. It's like a work-like legacy game where you pretty much try to get to the end without dying. But I can assure you, this game is just your poor man's version of Doom in a nutshell. Can't say how, but it is what it is. Okay. That does happens. And it's bright. Okay. So I was in a long hiatus for maybe 6 days, and it's because I was trying to do some live Photoshop, whatnot. And apparently the loading times in this port is actually way longer than the PC version, which is kind of strange, but that might be giving me the reasons why I never play some games on the PS4 instead of RPGs. But the loading times are kind of long when you go to the next area. Maybe because I have this upgrade to say the least, but that was awful to say the least. And this is where you actually could save and continue your journey, but I rather not. It could be better. I mean, the game itself is not that bad. It's as that is. It's just entirely bad to the point. I mean, I would do better if I actually have a mouse, but because the PS4 doesn't really allow you to do that, it's actually kind of ruined. Can't say how, but I would imagine that this game was actually made for a game jam, and I guess it had excellent features. Now I guess this is a power up where you actually get increased damage, but you can't see your HP and your ammunition. Okay. And apparently we died. So we actually do get experience the more we actually play. So there's actually 4 stages in each level, and there's supposed to be a boss fight. Alright. So we might as well does usually play this on easy because, you know, I already saw you the first, I think, 12 minutes of gameplay, and I think that might as well does not get the trophies because I might as well get the achievements in, let's say, I might as well just get show you some gameplay on either normal or easy difficulty. Now, I wanted to get the trophies, but the problem with this game is that it's actually kind of difficult to actually aim. And then sometimes something about the screen from my face cam is actually kind of bright. Big time. Whew. So there's like a lot of achievements. We have to beat the game in 40 minutes. And there's like a lot of trophies. We have to beat the map. And apparently you don't get trophies for beating the game on hard, so yeah. And there's also the same thing with trophies. Now there's actually more content called Mortal Zone, which was like a survival film. Can't tell. I mean, that's about it. There's no really achievement for beating the game in palm mode, but we might as well just play the game easy to see the leads. Okay, so apparently if you play this game on... So apparently in easy discovery zone, you can actually play you actually could play the game easy difficulty. And apparently achievements are disabled in the easy difficulty. So yeah. Not actually kind of good to say the least. We actually need some achievements, but if you wanted to usually get the achievements, you might need to have to play on normal difficulty. And there's actually cheats. It's not actually the case. So it's like, so mortal mode is like survival mode with some added affinities and some bonuses to make your round survivable. And apparently, this is the only type of card that it has. Can't say else, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, that's what's happened. So there's like survival mode, okay. And apparently some of the some of the gameplay action stuff froze. Yeah, I can see this happening a lot. Yeah, the frame rate is in this mode drops a lot. I don't know why, but it does happen. And I got killed. Okay. And the game is kind of broken in... And the game is kind of broken on the console versus compared to the PC, because you notice that if I press X, I can't be able to move around, and it won't let me if I actually does press M1. I'm not sure if it's actually kind of broken, but you know, game may suck on the PS4, but not on PC. I'm not a huge PC gamer. I'm just showing some gameplay to prove my point. Now, I never played the tutorial, but for the sake of YouTube, might as well just show it anyway. Let's see the FM feed that it has. I mean, we might as well just give it a try. Alright then.
Hello, and congratulations. You've obtained the lucrative job of Scout for the Class 9-6 spacecraft Icarus. They're depending on you to locate safe areas full of valuable materials to scrap. It's a rewarding but physically demanding job, so let's begin with a quick health assessment before you begin your training.
Start by turning your head side to side and up and down. We need to confirm you can move your head.
I mean, I tried best to beat the 90s, but no, it happens.
Thanks. I'm seeing good numbers here. Now if you could please increase your heart rate.
I guess you actually get a trophy for being in the tutorial. I don't know, but
Keep it going. Let's test your limits by jumping in place.
Wow, we've never seen results this impressive before. You're more than ready to travel to the edge of the galaxy. Yes, I did say edge. The core system is already oversaturated with scrappers, and we know you'll enjoy an adventure. Here are 3 quick facts about this core sector. Number 1, humanity knows nothing about this sector. Number 2, it's a historic opportunity, as no scrappers have returned alive from here before. And number 3, you'll be fine. You and the team will be beyond contact range, so please, take a moment to say your farewells to family and friends. Okay, let's get scrapping.
At Icarus, we pride ourselves on collecting and recycling discarded materials and space waste. As a scrapper, you need to recognize scrap as something much more valuable than average trash.
okay. They really put a lot of production thought into this, so alright. I mean, I played the PC version already. As I said, I never played the console version beforehand. And it's better to show face cam than OBS, but that's just me. But you have to admit, when you have too much time in your hands, this is what you do in just spare time.
benches allow you to turn scrap into goods. On Icarus, ours are calibrated to supply staff with armor and ammunition.
Yeah, I think that based on the photos I actually showing you, the PC version is usually kind of better than.
We also allow you to make extra income by finding scrap off the job and selling it to the scrap lord. You've earned your 10% cut.
There's more to scrapping than finding scrap and scrapping it. But let's move on to other actions expected of you.
Sometimes, large objects can obstruct your workflow. We found the best solution is to pick the item up and throw it in any direction out of your work zone. Icarus is a massive, multi-level spacecraft, but lifts make getting around manageable. Press Use on mechanical walls to activate lifts, but be careful of ceilings and ledges. Your scrapper's comp does not cover time off for lift-related crushings and cripplings.
It's not really a bad game, it's just that, you know, it's poorly optimized. It's a cool concept, but not what I actually expected.
We do, however, offer free healthcare for scrapping-related injuries. Our lunches are packed with the best drugs available in the galaxy, so you stay healthy and smart and never question your life choices. Finally, be careful when handling metal crates aboard Icarus. They're pressurized to keep expensive weapon components safe during shipment. Try being not careful. Just this one time.
It's not really a bad game, to be honest, but you know, I mean, the fact that the aiming is so bad to the point where you need to actually control the sensitivity, not really that simple. I don't expect this port to be actually great, but you know, if I had to give my honest opinion, I would rather play this on a computer than on the consoles, because you already know for the fact that I have to tilt the joystick, the R-long stick slightly, because if I actually put pressure up on it, it makes it usually difficult. And imagine trying to aim and try to survive on hard mode. Not actually that simple, to say the least.
Of course, these are just the basic requirements to perform your duty. But we can tell that you're a self-starter who prefers a hands-on approach to learning, not someone who wants to waste company hours with expensive training modules. We love that spirit. So experiment often and stay safe out there.
You have to admit, they actually do put a lot of effort into the FMV, but the game itself is as I don't even know. So I think that we might as well just give this game one more go before 9 o'clock, and then that will be it. I'm just gonna make more videos. As I said, I've been busy with school, you know, have project upon commissions, upon projects, upon submissions, upon, you know, this for that, and you'd be surprised how much time I have to waste. But it's a good cause. Also, I would like to mention that the loading times are kind of long compared to the PC port, so yeah, I had to get this game off my radar. Between you and me and I'm not into this type of software. The game is good on the PC, but not on consoles. And you already saw the frame rate being so bad. Well, that's just proof that I might as well just play this game on the PC than on the consoles. Because try to aim and try not to have frame rate drops. It's just one of the aspects I can't tolerate. You already saw how bad it is. But at least Borderlands 3 was not that bad compared to this. But hey, anything goes. I'm not trying to speed want this, but I don't know. So I'm gonna play one more run, and then after, if I die, if I made it to the boss, I might as well just end the segment for now. Because I don't see the whole point of trying to usually rebeat the game again and die multiple times. Plus my food is cooking, so you know. It's a decent game, but it's just maybe one of those games where you just play in your free time. And that's about it. Maybe I did take it into consideration, but it happens. I made some on tone, but I don't have anything else to say but besides it. So thus the damage output is not so unfair. Well, you could just respawn and just fail miserably. And sometimes your resources card usually diminish so easily. Trying to not die is usually the hardest part because sometimes you'd be stuck in a corner and the game would be kind of unfair in the get-go. You trying to shoot with a control and you tell me otherwise. I may fail, but that does happen, but okay. How it happens is beyond me, but I don't know. I don't so care about it. It's a decent indie game if you want to play in spare time, but it is what it is. And then we get the loading times, and yeah, it takes a lot of time for the level to load out, but it is what it is. Whew. We're doing well for this segment. Other than that, tomorrow I have school. And you know I have to usually get my projects done. I go in the hope that if we are able to usually, you know, make some progress, I wouldn't be surprised. Can we make it? Is it possible you can actually make it? Can't say why, but it is what it is. And we did. And the petty, that's about it. So that's STRAFE. Judge about the title and the gameplay and the lack of directions. This game is one of those times where you need more patience and skills. And obviously, you need a lot of patience if you want to usually make it this far. Now, if you think about it, I can't usually blame the game devs for trying to usually make the game possible, but you know, the game itself is also difficult. Beyond that, there's no credits, so if it is, power to you, but I can't usually take this seriously. And that's about it, to say the least. So, to be fair, STRAFE is a decent game you can actually play in your spare time if you like your games to be hard or difficult. The only thing I can say so far is that the game itself is, at least on the PS4, is usually bad. As a port, you have to deal with the fact that there's going to be a lot of frame rate drops, if the text is being so bad, and the game will take a long time to load each time you complete a level. So it may take a long time, maybe 10 minutes for the level to usually load up in the next area. And you know, if you're trying to do a speed run, the console forces are not that great. Now, this is the only time where I say that the console forces of this title is not that great, and I recommend the PC version, because really sometimes posts for the consoles are usually better, but in this exception, it is really not. But if you really want to usually, you know, have competition delay to some degree, go ahead, power to you, whatever. But you know, judging by the lack of content, it is pretty much average. I get this. So in the meantime, yeah, that's about it. My food is done, and I need to usually get my sector off and to see it's not overcooked, but that's about it. So this is the High Asinus here, signed off with the Disney Ultimatum. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, comment down below, turn on notifications, whatnot. Rat-tat-tat, sign up with a decent ultimatum. Hope you guys are ready for another video, because the malware starts sooner as actually expected, and we guys are actually prepared. See you soon, goodbye, good night, and happy Tuesday. You might need it, so did I. Have fun.